Namaskar. Few words I will say about journey, about movement from darkness to light. When I first time watched the movie Matrix, actually that time I didn't notice, but later on I noticed in the end of the movie there is one beautiful Sanskrit shloka. It says Asato ma sadgamaya tomaso ma jyotir gamaya mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Asato ma sadgamaya, from ignorance to truth, from something which is changing to unchangeable, lead us. Tomaso ma jyotirgamaya, from darkness to light, lead us. From death to immortality, lead us. Beautiful. O effulgence, aviravi maadi. O effulgence, oh the very light of the color, the very light of everything, of existence, fill me up, lead me from ignorance to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. What a beautiful thing to say. So it's a very, very nice verse. I like it very much. So what is that place full of light? The place beyond suffering, the place of perfect contentment. What is that place? Religiously, people believe that after life there will be heaven and hell concept is there. If you behave well, you go to heaven, and if you misbehave, you go to hell, eternal damnation. And then I used to question my grandmother, who was a very religious person and who really shared with me what she gave me. She gave me really interest in spirituality, but it was in a religious way. So I was questioning, because the idea of paradise, the idea of heaven, first of all, is some place somewhere, that place. Quite difficult to get in. And the way she described it, I found it was a little bit boring, and it was a little bit kind of materialistic. Like, your physical needs are fulfilled, and the rivers of milk, and the honey, and the different apple trees, and everything very nice. So I was not very inspired with that idea. But we yearn for happiness, we yearn for really for the experience of divinity. And the adobe of that divinity, the main mistake is to think it is somewhere outside. The moment you search it outside, you actually go farther away from divinity. The moment you think it is somewhere outside of you, you are closer, but then you move away from that closeness. Something which is very, very close, something which is very, very inner. You leave and you go to search in the external world, and you find nothing in the external world. So this divine happiness cannot be obtained through religion, through worshipping something external. Rather, you should look inside. And through that looking inside, that is the path. Search for, one friend of mine, he shared with me one line of the German poet Rilke, and that inspired me very much. It says, "In meinen wilden Herzen nächtigt obdachlos die Unvergänglichkeit." That means, in my wild heart spends the night homeless, unchangeable. What a beautiful line. You know, sometimes I just cannot understand how the poets, they rip the space-time apart like this. They tear it apart like this. Through that tear in the space-time, you directly see the divinity. You directly see the divinity. So when this word, this German word, stuck in my mind, Unvergänglichkeit, the unchangeable. And when I would do my practice, would do my meditation, I would do my kirtan, my mind, I would rub against that word of unchangeable. And that word would create the waves of bliss within me. So we have to find that which is unchangeable. And that what is changeable, that which is subject to decay, we leave behind. You know, if you have to take only one thing with you on your journey, what that thing should be? That should be your soul, the unchangeable. You see, such a beautiful poem. It says, "Ah, in my wild heart." And why my heart is wild? Oh, because it has so many wild things, desires. I want, I don't want, I like, I dislike. That is why my heart is wild. It's not tamed, it's wild. So in my wild heart spends the night, optachleos means without roof, roofless, homeless, unchangeable entity. Why he is homeless? Because he is shelter, or it is shelter, or she is shelter, I don't know what, because it's beyond he or she or it. So that unchangeable is beyond, it doesn't have any shelter, because it is shelter to everything. Can you imagine the poet could just think like this? The shelterless, the homeless, unchangeable reality. So in my wild heart, within me dwells that unchangeable. Within me, that ultimate source of light. Within me, the heaven is. So if the heaven is within you, if the paradise is within you, what are you waiting for? It is within you. Open that gate. For that you leave the objects and go to the subject. What is subject? The one who thinks, who sees. The ultimate center of existence. So what is meditation? Meditation is exactly that. You leave the world, you leave the thoughts, then you go in that unchangeable reality within yourself. And that is the movement from darkness to light. If you're very, very dark with your thoughts, with your worries, with your grievances, you are in darkness. The thoughts, they bring you in darkness. The objects, they bring you in darkness. But within you, wherever you go, whatever circumstances, within you dwells the ultimate light of the universe. You turn to that light. The moment you turn to that light, it's going to dazzle your eyes. Literally, sometimes it is like this. When you look inside of your eye, you will find dazzling effulgence. How amazing, how incredible is this? That you always carry with you the ultimate light. That is why In Tantra, it is said, Atmas Shivam Shivam Tyaktva Bahistam Ja Samarchayet Hastastam Pindamusrija Brahmate Jivita Shaya. The one who forgets the consciousness of inner world and goes to search for the God in the external world, for Shiva. One who forgets Shiva inside and then he goes to search Shiva outside. Where? In the temples, in the rituals, in whatever way. Then the comparison goes like this. The one who does like this is acting as a person who have thrown the rice from his hands, means the food from his hands, and then after that he goes to beg from door to door, here and there. So, having the ultimate source of everything, why should I go back for anything? The attachment to any object or any thought is called addiction. It doesn't give us anything. It only gives darkness. It gives a very temporary satisfaction. But it doesn't allow you to come out of darkness. So the way to come out of darkness is to search the inner core. And that's what you have to do. You have to sit like this and you have to drill your consciousness. You have to drill it. Because there is the wall of crudeness. And that wall of crudeness, just like a shroud of darkness, separates you from your innermost core, from your soul. So you have to knock with your hammers, with your drilling, hammering, digging, whatever you have to do. You have to focus your concentration on the supreme subjectivity and try to come by all different means to that. By doing pratyahara yoga, by doing mantra japa, by doing mantra dhyana, all these things. So from darkness to light, lead us. From death to immortality, lead us. From ignorance to truth, lead us. Thank you very much. This was just a bit of inspiration. Actually, I sang one song, and then from that song that inspiration came. And that song goes like this. Bone upo bone kujiya kujiya, kono kane tobo de kanapai, budore shagore, niharika pore, kotaya chota jananai, kono kane tobo de kanapai. I was searching for you in the forest, and in a small forest also. In different groves and forests, I have searched for you. I searched for you in the mountains and in the ocean, and I was not able to see you. I wanted to see you, oh the divine entity. I wanted to see you, but I couldn't see you. Then, what I say? Since I couldn't see, then I blame the Supreme. Jeto mare bhalobashe tar kota, bhavite nahi ki kono vyakulota, tomare jivon jediye diyeche, tar tori mone nahi ki tain. It's very touching actually. Jeto mare bhalobashe tar kota, about those who love you so much, don't you want to think? Don't you want to think? Bhavite nahi ki kono vyakulota. Don't you feel anxious to think about them? Tomare jivon jediye dieche. About those who have given, who have dedicated their lives to you. For them, don't you have even little space in your mind, in your attention for them? And then the resolution of this song, you know, that the person is starving spiritually. I'm searching for truth, I cannot find it. And oh Supreme Entity, don't you have any mercy? Don't you have any desire to think about people like this? And then there is an understanding, realization. The person says, Ajbujilo monetero echo monobhumialo kariyare kecho bahire vishve kujia kujia kacheri dure patate chai. Today I realized, I understood that you are light within. And because of that light within, you keep the darkness away. Without that light, without you, I would be shrouded in darkness. I would be consumed by darkness. No, but because you exist as the supreme subjectivity within me, deeply within my soul, you keep the light, you repel the darkness. And by seeking you in the external universe, I've been sending something which is near, I was sending far away. So this is a beautiful song. So my message is this, that ultimate happiness is always there. But sometimes people, they do meditation and they get discouraged because the restless mind, the mind is restless, the prana is restless, the vital energy is restless, the mind runs in all 10 directions. So they try to meditate and they cannot get through that. You need a calmness of the mind. The mind becomes calm. In that calmness and that tranquility, then you touch. So then people become discouraged. They say, oh, I cannot do meditation. You can do. You can do. You have to do. And then turn inside. Within you, the ultimate source of happiness. Within you, the ultimate source of light. Better than anything. Thank you very much. Namaskar. You write in the comments, did you ever experience the grace of your own soul? Did you ever experience the touch of divinity comes from inside? And how did you feel? Namaskar.